All right, week 13, bin 2. Now, obviously, as you can see, the lid is off of the bin. If you didn't see bin 1's video, the reason why I did this, as well as for bin 3, which you'll see tomorrow, after the fruit fly party, or excuse me, the fungus gnat party that happened in bin 1, I decided, you know what, let's just take the lids off of bins 2 and 3 as well. And if there's anything in here, let's just get it out. So earlier today, I took the lids off all 3 bins and I took them outside for a little while so that they could, you know, air out, so to speak. There's still a few flying around though. The geckos are also slow eating right now in the cold season. Worms aren't the only one. All right, so a couple things before we get started. The little fuzzy bunny over here. I had some Chinese stew the other day, and they come with this really beautiful, soft, fluffy bread that you usually get with their stews. And they sent me 2 of them, and one was more than enough. So I kept the second one. And the reason I put it in the bin, even though it might possibly have salt in it, which I'm almost certain it does, is I wanted to see, especially with the babies that I saw in bin 3, if there were any additional babies, maybe, just maybe, they would gravitate and go underneath this food that I put on top. If they have, I have little bowls here that I'm going to scoop them up and put them in, because I'm going to be doing some mixing and we're going to be putting some things in here. So that's what I'm going to explain next. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to check the bin and see how the worms are doing. As you can see, the castings look very, very wet. After I check on everybody in here, what I'm going to be doing is slowly folding in the contents of bin 1. So half of bin 1 is going to go here in bin 2. The other half will go in tomorrow in bin 3. And that way we'll hopefully be able to get these castings all to kind of dry out and finish together at the same time. And bin 1 is going to be set up in a completely separate video to show you how to properly cycle a bin. So that's going to happen first. After that, I'm going to be putting a piece of cardboard in here on the bottom of the bin, which you can see almost fits perfectly, but not quite. It's okay that it's not perfect fit, but this is going to help insulate the bottom during this cold season and also hopefully help absorb some of the moisture that's going on in there. Once that's done, I am going to give them a light feeding in the middle, because there's going to be a lot more worms in both bins 2 and 3 now. And then lastly, and don't worry for the lady out there that doesn't like to listen to me crunch these things up live on the video, it's going to have a nice leaf cover. Not full size and uncrushed like this, but crushed up. That's what's going to be happening for bins 2 and 3 this week. So let's first check here and see if there's anything under this fuzzy bunny of mine. Oh yeah. Okay, this is what I was wondering about, is if we wouldn't see worms maybe gravitate in. Ooh, some rosemary. I put that in too, I forgot about it. I don't see any babies though. Bin 3 really was the one with the babies. We got some friends up here on the sides. That's okay. But no. Looks like they did not really attack the bun with much fervor, but it's hard to say from the bottom here. Oh yeah, the castings are very muddy. They're almost like bin 1. So maybe, ooh, okay, some of our friends are here. Maybe it was a little bit too late in because these are very muddy and very wet. All right, let's set that aside for a minute. Let's just take a look and see what we're dealing with. Yeah, you can hear the dampness in here. It doesn't have the same sticky texture that bin 1 did. As you can see, it crumbles apart still fairly well, but it's still really wet. Wetter than I would like, but that's okay. We're going to take care of that tonight. Wow, population looks great too. But let's fluff things up a bit, and as you can see, they're not going through the food as quickly because, once again, look what we have here. Babies. I hope you guys can see that okay. I'm flying blind, so I can't tell what you're actually seeing and not able to see, but a lot of very small worms there. So they're still treating the food area very much like a nursery, it looks like. But you know, we still have really healthy looking adults as well, mixed in with the babies, and smaller sized worms as well. So it seems we have all sizes going on in here, which is kind of a good thing, I think. I know it's hard to really determine if the test that Noel at World Composting and AV over on his channel are doing is working or not. I know AV just recently checked in on his African night crawlers, and he thinks he may have missed the opportunity to move the adults out from some newborns that just happened recently. So it's hard to know if that's actually working or not. Anyway, sorry for my rambling. Let me just get this kind of mixed up and mixed in. This thing is nasty. Let's see if I open it up. That's that bun that I was talking about. Is there anything in it besides the bun itself? Probably not. I'm sure taking it apart like this is not doing anybody any favors. Guys, this is going to be a little bit more of a longer video because of the multiple tasks I'm going to be doing in the bin. I will try to cut out certain pieces like this if I get rambling for long periods of time, but that's really what I wanted to see, is if there's any babies inside of here, and it looks like we do have a couple. So they are using the food as a nursery. That's fine. Kind of already knew that from our previous check-ins. Now it's just time to mix this stuff up. And then I'm going to bring bin 1 over, and I'm going to start to slowly fold it in with the rest. But this is just about the same consistency as bin 1 is right now. But bin 1 also has bedding in it. Now, I am not going to be adding any additional bedding, and I know you're thinking to yourself, why not? It definitely could use it. Well, I want to try to get these guys to finish this sooner than later, and if I put more bedding in it, it's going to take months. The cardboard bottom, I think, is going to help with the moisture issues that I've been having, and more importantly, it'll keep them warm. I didn't mention this at the beginning, and I probably should have, but this week we are getting ready to experience about a 30-degree swing in temperature. So in the day, later on this week, it's going to be somewhere in the mid-80s, and at night, it's dropping down into the mid-50s. So I'm really glad that I'm doing this now, because that's a really drastic temperature drop. And for African night crawlers that really would rather be hot than cold, yeah, I definitely need to do this now. All right, so there's our mud. Let's get bin 1 folded in with the rest of it, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the cardboard bottom in, get a feeding end, and then get the leaf top, the dry leaf materials put on top of it. But yeah, this is really, really muddy stuff. Holy cow, is it muddy. All right, I'm gonna go grab bin 1, and I will be right back. Okay, bin 1 still has a lot of flying things in it. They actually, it's not fruit flies, they definitely are fungus gnats. One of my commenters, subscribers, was saying this earlier, and I was teasing them back, going, no, them is fruit flies, this is gecko food. Now, it's definitely fungus gnats, but yeah, for the benefit of the doubt, I call them fruit flies. Okay, so I'm going to start to slowly fold the contents, half the contents of bin 1 in here, and we'll start mixing it up. So here we go. You don't want to just dump it in. It's going to be best that I just do this a little at a time. Bedding, castings, worms, and food are going into this. And fruit flies. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it in. Kind of like that. As you can see the bedding material that's coming over from bin 1. There's a lot of it. So that's part of the other reason why I'm not adding an additional bedding here for bins 2 or 3 when I get to bin 3. That is for bin 2 right now. It's just about a quarter of it. The increase in worm population is the other reason why I'm definitely going to need to add a little food to this. Honestly, I think there's more than enough, but just to be cautious, just to be sure, I am going to give it a small feeding. A little bit of rice, some banana peels, and a couple of lime wedges, and I think I've even got a mango that I'll put in. A mango pit, that is. Everybody's really big on putting the mango pits in. I've got mangoes all over the place, and I only finally put one in about a week or so ago. But yeah, we'll see if we can't get that in here as well. May save it for bin 3. Not sure. We'll see. I think I put it in the center here of bin 1. Not 100% sure. I got this idea of mixing wetter contents with drier contents from World Composting. I mentioned this yesterday and I'll mention it again. He did this not that long ago with one of his bins that was really just way too wet. And it's, you know, as you can see, I mean, even before I started adding bin 1, the contents of bin 2 here is still also very clumpy. So this is, I don't even know if this is really going to work the way I'm hoping it is, but I definitely want to keep these bins warm, and at the same time, hopefully, maybe with the increased population of worms now going into this bin, it might actually, I don't know, it may help speed things up a little bit. But it's really muddy. I'm almost afraid to fold it in because I don't want to hurt the worms in the process of doing that, but I don't want food being exposed because of all the fungus gnats, bacteria flies, fruit flies, whatever. I think I probably got them all. Okay, that's not even quite half yet. Let me get a little bit more. I'm also going to bring over some of the bottom bedding from bin 1, and I think I'll use it where I put the feeding area. So you can see some of it's just tearing apart really easily. But you know, the thing of it is, and you saw in yesterday's video, bin 1 was, you know, over 5 degrees warmer than bins 2 and 3, and it's closest to the window to the outside of my house. So, I don't know. I think there's something to be said for it. Definitely going to become much heavier now. All right, let's get a little bit more, and that's half. And the other half is going to go on bin 3. Okay. I probably should have put the cardboard bottom in first before I started doing this. On bin 3, I will, but that's okay. Whole idea here is just to kind of spread things out a bit, and hopefully they'll dry out a little bit better, process a little bit better. Definitely stay warmer. There is the mango pit from bin 1. Okay, so I'll keep the other one for bin 3. Even things out here a little bit more. Try to keep this solid piece that's slowly falling apart for the feeding area. Okay. All right, now what I should have done first. Now it's time to, once again, kind of bring everybody over. put in our cardboard bottom. Yeah, I definitely should have done this first. Dummy. Hey, listen, if my channel has done nothing other than show you guys what not to do, mission accomplished. It's been a lot of fun doing this though. It really has. Holy cow, these things are heavy. All right, so I guess it'd be so much better if I had both gloves on to do this, but I'm gonna try doing this one-handed. Let's see if I can. It's gonna be hard to bring it under. Tell that right now. Pull it from this side, I think. Yeah. Alright. So what I was trying to avoid was having everything get underneath it. It kind of defeats the purpose. Oi. Yep. Bin 3, this goes in first. Almost got it all. And there we go. Straight. There's going to be a little bit of it underneath, but you know what? That's okay. All right. So half of bin 1 is now in bin 2. We have put our cardboard bottom in, which I should have done first. Mental note for bin 3. Now we're going to give it a little feeding. There's a lot of worms in here now. Okay. Let's get our feeding zone put together. Really muddy material. Really, really muddy. Just too many, you know what it was? Those cucumbers and those Thai eggplant, they had a lot of water in them. And I probably would have been a lot better if I only put half of each in, or just maybe one of and not both. That's all it takes, just a little bit. I think I'm gonna go a little bit deeper too on this, just because, yeah, there's the bottom. There's our mango pit. Okay. I know this is a little crazy this week, guys. My apologies, I know it's a long video, but I want to make sure you see this so that when we finally get to the end, it's understood and known what was done. Okay, half that here, half for bin 3. The other thing is this cardboard undoubtedly has a lot of the fungus gnat larvae and eggs in it, I'm pretty sure. But you know, that's okay. It's gonna get buried under some seriously heavy castings. But that's going to act as our bedding for the feeding zone. And I'm really lucky that these African night crawlers don't seem to mind being mixed like this. Myself and some other vermiculturalists have noticed this, that we're able to mix them up really, you know, vigorously like this, and they seem to do okay, which is really surprising. Okay, there's a lime wedge. I just dropped one. In the bin that has the worm food. There's 2. Some banana peels. It's just a piece of paper. Okay. Let me do this. This aside for a minute. There's the one other item that I do have. Actually, 2 items. Small amount of cabbage. I'm sure that's going to smell wonderful between now and next weekend. And a little bit of rice. This is always a lot of fun for my gloves. Alright, banana peels. 3. Alright, cover it up. Again, I'm only just tapping down very lightly on this to kind of just smooth it over, leave it as even as possible where I can. A lot of castings, a lot of worms in this bin now. It's a very full bin. This is why I'm really glad I got these 14-gallon totes now, these bins. Even though I drilled the holes low, it still has provided ample room to be able to even do this with. I don't know if I could have gotten away with this with a 10-gallon bin or not. It might have been overflowing or just too heavy. But I think it'll be okay in here. All right. Now, for one of the most important parts of this to make sure that it's successful, it's gonna be some wonderful leaf bedding. You guys have seen me do this before. And this really is to just, absorb the moisture. It's also going to unfortunately keep some of the moisture in, but the main thing really is this is going to hopefully help keep some of the heat in with the bin. That's the main reason for it. And dry leaf material right now in my area is abundant, so I'm not going to be shy using this tonight. Certain areas, corners especially, and the edges. All right, there we are. Full-size solid cardboard bottom, half of the bedding, castings, and worms from bin 1, small size feeding, and dry leaf material to top it off with. The lid is going to go back onto this bin now. It goes back in the water tub, and I'm going to be monitoring the temperatures all week long as we get ready for week 14. And I just want to thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you'll like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and hit the bell notification icon if you haven't, so that you can be alerted when I upload new content. Listen, wherever you are in this world today or tonight, you take care. Bye for now.